After the Hamiltons rolled out of Jayton, the first excitement of the journey slowly settled into the steady rhythm of the trail. Day after day, the covered wagons moved across the wide Texas prairie. The men drove the teams, the women tended the children and supplies, and Gordon and Johnny walked barefoot beside the wagons with Ring trotting close behind them. The June sun was hot, and the ground grew hotter as the day wore on, but the boys hardly minded. Their feet were tough from going barefoot all summer, and to them, the journey still felt like an adventure. Each evening, when the wagons stopped, everyone knew what to do. Bob would call for firewood, and Gordon and Johnny would hurry off to gather sticks for the campfire. Before long, Ina would have her cast iron oven heating over the flames. She made biscuits, fried bacon, and potatoes, and somehow turned a dusty campsite into something that felt like home. To Gordon and Johnny, nobody in the world could cook like their mother. After supper, the dishes were washed carefully with only a little water. Water was precious on the trail, and it had to last until they reached another stream or river. Then the children spread their blankets on the ground beneath the open sky. The air cooled. The stars came out. Coyotes began their lonely song in the distance. Ring curled up between the boys, and under that same wide sky, the Hamilton family slept. For several weeks, the journey went on that way, but pioneer life could turn dangerous quickly. One night in July, Ina began to complain of pain in her leg. Ina was not one to complain, so Bob knew something was badly wrong. Days earlier, she had slipped and cut her leg deeply on a sharp rock. At first, she had wrapped it tightly and tried to keep going. But now the wound was angry, swollen, and terribly painful. Before dawn the next morning, Bob saddled a horse and rode out across the prairie, hoping to find a town, or a doctor, or anyone who could help. He rode for hours and found nothing but open land. Then, on his way back toward camp, Bob came upon a native medicine man sitting near a mesquite tree. When Bob explained Ina's trouble, the man said he knew good medicine for a poisoned leg and rode back with him. At camp, Ina could hardly walk from the pain. Bob was desperate, and Ina was willing to accept the help. The medicine man examined her leg, then treated it and wrapped it carefully with clean cloths. He told Bob to leave the bandage on for 3 days. Gordon and Johnny watched every movement, wide-eyed and fascinated. Gordon never forgot what he saw that day, and sure enough, when the cloth was removed 3 days later, Ina's leg was healing. The family had been shown mercy on the trail, but not long after, another frightening moment came. By August, the prairie had begun giving way to farms and fields. The families found work chopping weeds in a cotton field and camped near a stream. Everyone was tired from the long, hot days. One evening after supper, Era sat near the dying campfire with tiny Oleta asleep in her lap. The breeze was cool, the fire was soft, and before she knew it, Era dozed off. Then suddenly, screams shattered the quiet. Era had fallen forward near the dying fire, and little Oleta had fallen with her. Bob and Ina rushed to them, pulling both girls away from the embers and carrying them to the wagon. They soaked towels in cool water and laid them gently over the girls, while Gordon and Johnny ran for more water from the stream. For hours, Bob and Ina kept cool cloths on their daughters and prayed. By morning, Era and Oleta woke and told their mother they did not hurt anymore. Bob and Ina could hardly believe it. They knew how badly the girls could have been burned. They knew how differently that night could have ended. So there, beside the wagon, under the same wide sky that had covered them mile after mile, Bob and Ina bowed their heads and thanked God. The trail was hard. The journey was dangerous. But again and again, mercy had met them along the way, and the Hamilton family kept moving toward Arkansas,